And we're back. The
We are.
RunHard Brothers podcast back after a break. We've taken some time off. I don't even actually know how much time we've taken off. We did the family episode, and I
I don't,
think you said you had to go and recover from the family episode.
yeah, after the family, I told you, I had to go find a dark place and decompress. No, in fact, what we did is we left the country.
But
We both
both
left the
of us did.
country.
We did the family episode, and then we left the country. We did. Oh yeah, so
Left the,
let's just real quick recap the break. Um, we recorded that, and then where since last time we were on here, where have you been?
where have I been?
Where have you been?
So after that episode, I got on an airplane and went to San Juan, Puerto Rico, then St. Croix. Then we went to the ABC Islands, which is Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, and then back to San Juan. And we did that all. I did not swim. We took a big ship. It's not a boat. It's a ship. We cruised the Caribbean. So if I had to decompress, that was a good place to decompress. So I was way south, but not quite as far south as you were. Oh, no, I guess I was. So. I actually went further south than you.
When you went to Curacao, is not
because Aruba is literally like 15 miles or 50 miles from Venezuela.
Right, that would have been the one. Yeah, because on Saturday the 21st of June, Christina and I, we took a group of 18. We left from Lynchburg, drove to DC, got on a plane, and flew direct flight to Guatemala City. Got there, and of course, what was it? What is that noise? Do you hear a noise?
Maybe not hear a noise.
I don't know. I got feedback coming in. We flew from DC to Guatemala City, and then when we got to Guatemala City, we went to Antigua, not for vacation, although it's not a bad place to wake up in the morning. I'm going to tell you that much. We went to serve my youth pastor from when I was in 9th and 10th grade is now an executive pastor of a church in Antigua. And him and his wife, who obviously she was one of your teachers, right, in high school.
Missy,
they lived down there. They've lived down there the last 15 years, and we partner with their church. And they're all about doing ministry in that church, in that community. And so we go down there, spend a week, and obviously as people get to know our family, you know that my daughter was born in Guatemala, so she was along. She's 21. She was our photographer for the week, which is incredible. And we spent a week down there. Got a run in. Talk about that in a little bit. Got back.
I will tell you that we don't know geography. I will tell you that I don't know geography very well. I thought I did, but I was like hundreds of miles south of you.
Right. No.
Like for some reason I didn't. I'm like, yeah, there's that. Obviously, I wasn't listening to Maureen when she was teaching. I was not doing a very good job there. Sorry about that, Missy.
Which is what's cool is, come to find out, is that when I was in Guatemala, my friend Jonathan has listened to the podcast. He's from Guatemala, and he's actually going to be running in the Antigua half marathon in July, which I'm going to find any reason I can to try and get back down there and run that. It would be so cool. It's tough. The entire city of Antigua is nothing but cobblestone, and so I'm not exactly sure how they do. I don't know.
That sounds like a turn egg for me.
So this week has been. It was really encouraging. What I was saying with that is, though, the Ericksons, Todd and Maureen, they talked about the podcast as well, and they keep up with us. And it was just kind of unique to be in another country. And we don't have a very wide listenership, but obviously we have enough that people
tens
and tens. We have enough down there that people are checking that out. And the last one obviously hit a little bit more, and we've had people talking about it, checking in on that. But I guess this week we talk about staying with it even when life moves fast. I know it's summertime, but for me, for a student ministry, this is the absolute time of year. Listen to this month for us. So we got back on Sunday morning. We drove into church 6 o'clock on Sunday morning on the 29th, and that night is the largest fireworks display and event in Central Virginia here, and it's at our church. And so we had probably 10, 15,000 people there. So get in at 6 a.m. and by 5 p.m. we have to set up our student table, and then we're preparing because as we're recording this coming Monday, I'm speaking at camp all next week. Michelle's going to be a counselor in training. The following week, I'm speaking at a different camp. The following week, our middle schoolers go to the camp. And then the following week, our high schoolers go to camp. And we're having regular Wednesday nights all along the way. And it's all a thing. So, yes, we don't power down
Your
for this one.
calendar looks like your calendar just has like nonstop highlighters on it.
We have a dry erase calendar upstairs, and I try and take a picture of it every month because now I will say this is a busier month than typical for us, but we try and build in margin around that. Christina does a good job of making sure that we're all doing stuff, even if it's all of us getting down here in our living space. And we right now we're going through the series Lost as a family, come together, grab a cheer wine and watch Lost just to kind of do stuff. But even when life moves fast, we got to stay running. I'm still on a good streak in that I've not missed a week. And so I'm going to hit that in the morning to make sure that I keep that pattern up for sure. So you didn't miss runs.
Yes.
The entire trip I kept getting posts from you of and you've talked about this before, but cruise ship laps. Did you do any runs off ship during this trip, or was it?
Nope. I did 26 miles, little over almost 27 miles running on the ship, in circles. And so what was kind of neat about this one is, like, we've taken a lot of cruises, and I've run almost always on the cruise, and the cruise tracks. And for anybody that has been on a cruise ship and has run on the track or walked on the track, it's usually like 9 times around is a mile, and you were just like around and around. Even on some of the bigger ships, this was the smallest ship in the Royal Caribbean fleet. It was Rhapsody of the Seas. But what they did different is the top deck.
You were on a boat.
No, it was not a boat. It was a ship. Let's get it right.
Oars, man.
But the top, yeah, the top deck. It was deck 10. It was deck 10. They actually ran the track the entire length almost of the upper deck. So it was 0.23 around, which it was almost the size of a high school track, which was pretty neat because as a general rule, instead of running 9 times around, it was like 4.5 times around, which was a lot better. But we were sailing into Southern Caribbean. It was not cool outside. So the first 2 runs, I got up early and ran like at 5:30 in the morning, which was cool. There was nobody out there, couple walkers, and the track was actually even wider than normal. So it was just easy running. It was no big deal. Third day, I was lazy. I didn't get up in the morning and go run. We went and did an excursion. Then I came back and I was like, all right, I need to go for a run. And it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Everybody's
out. Southern Caribbean. Well, that was the thing, is like the way they had this one set up, the chairs were only on one side, so it didn't matter. But it was 190 degrees out there. It was unbelievable how hot it was.
Officially,
that's what it felt like to me. And to get 5 miles in, it was 22 laps. You had to do 22 laps. So I got that done. It was the next morning I did the same thing. We had an early excursion, so I couldn't run. But I went to breakfast, and this guy comes walking up to me, and he's like, hey, man, how long's the track upstairs? Like, he just walked up. That was the question. I'd never seen the guy before in my life.
You're the runner guy.
And I was like, well, it's 0.23. He was like, can you tell me that in meters? I was like, almost 400 meters. He was like, well, you really run it a lot. And I don't know who this guy is. But apparently there's a thing called the there's a 11th deck with there's a big like observation thing up there. He was sitting up there having his coffee, watching me run
He's been
around in
watching
circles.
you run.
Yeah, stalker dude. So anyway, so every day I would get out there and run. I ran every day I was on the ship. The last day we were at sea, and I got up there, and it was really hot. It was really hot, and I was taking off, and I had gone about 5 laps, and 2 other guys started running, and you're kind of like on the opposite side. So if they're going up this way, I'm coming down this
Right.
way, and if you're running kind of the same speed, you never run into each other. Well, but I would see him across. And as I was running up and looking across, I'd see him. Then all of a sudden, the dude wasn't there anymore. And I came around. He was sitting down. And he had only gone like 6 laps. And he was sitting down. I was like, dude, you good? He's like, yeah, it's really hot. I was only like 5 laps in. So 20 laps in, this guy just looks at me and goes, you're an idiot. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Why are you still running? And I just... So then, because I wanted to quit. And now I couldn't quit. So I like...
Now you can't quit because he's watching you.
I did. I actually went to 27 laps that time and got
I'm
the
gonna
6 miles.
I'm gonna run a half marathon on here today. Hey, so when you're running on there, I know. Do you ever feel that you're on the ocean? Can you ever feel the?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm running on a boat.
Well, there's 2 things. It's a ship, bro. There's 2 things. Is the wind. So when the ship's moving, say it's moving, 9 miles an hour, 12 miles an hour, whatever. When you're up on that 10th deck, the wind is coming. So it feels like you're running uphill one way, and then you turn around and it feels like you're supercharged the other way.
Right.
Like
right.
Every step you feel like you're floating. So it's like this weird thing as you go around. Now I'm running. It's just when you're docked, it's no bad. But when you're at sea, and then if it's rough,
yeah, that's
just
what
this little movement, and you take a step off, you feel like you're like, oh.
They need to calculate if you're kind of going up a wave, you're like running uphill. So I mean, it's elevation gain. You should be able to get elevation gain from that.
But there's definitely resistance. This is another thing. I got to be honest, I was really impressed with the track and how running on it was pretty decent. For most of the way around the front where the wind was really bad, they had huge glass partitions up. So it just cut the wind out. So you just ran around there. So and there was not a lot of people using the track the whole time. Every once in a while, you go on
these cruises to stuff your face filled with pizza and ice cream, and nobody wants to even think about that stuff.
Well, I too am that person that wants to stuff my face with pizza and ice cream. I just have this way of making myself feel not so guilty, justifying it, whatever you want to call it. So,
did you ever?
But
how do you like? Do you put your watch on track or something like that? Like,
no. So when at sea, you have to take your GPS off. If you ran 5 miles, it'll tell you you ran 20 miles.
Through the ocean. Like,
yep. Actually, because the ship's moving so fast, it just looks like a straight line. But your GPS will say you just ran 20 miles at like a 2 minutes a mile thing. It's crazy what that is. So what I do is I take the GPS off, and then I just hit the lap every time I set my towels and everything up, and I just keep track of my laps, one after the other.
Right.
And then when you're docked, for the most part, they dock those ships so tight that they don't even move like this. And and that's the one, if you saw it, you would see where I put the GPS was on, because it shows it. I still do the laps every time to keep track. But yeah, look, it's in order, you have to, it's so easy to go, I don't feel like running, I'm just going to go, eat. But it is actually kind of fun running.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, do you get worried about what time you do or whatever, or is it just enjoying the fact that you're?
Yeah. I mean, I try to, I figured out, 0.23, if I make a lap in 2 minutes and 20 seconds, like that's going to get me, between whatever miles, so I know, like I'll start running and the laps will start telling me I'm slowing down or speeding up. But No, it is about getting miles on while you're out there. It is 100% getting miles on. Um, and then, obviously I ran six times while I was on the ship, but I didn't bring 6 pairs of clothes with me to run in. So when I would
You're
take a
nasty.
shower, I'd take a shower, the clothes would go in the shower with me, right? Then I take them out and I dry them. Off we go.
You do know that's not normal. Like when this is like runner normal stuff. Like this is not like
It
I mean,
works.
our family or who all the tens of people that are watching. There's a lot of them that just listening because they love us and they want to hang out with us for a little bit. They're like,
Now they just found out
this
I
is like
washed my
little.
clothes in the shower.
They're like, this is like Little House on the Prairie stuff. Like we're just
It is.
bathing with our clothes as we wash them or something.
Right. Well, and then here's the other thing is that it is not good social protocol on a ship to hang your clothes out on the out on the balcony. It's just not. You don't do it. It's not the right thing. But I have learned how to put them on the backs of the chairs so nobody can see them, and let that salt air come in and dry it.
Do you
It's like
clip
you got
them?
fret. It's like, yeah, I
You,
clip them, and I clip them. I clip them down low so that nobody can see them because it's very bad protocol to like have it hanging and looking like you got a clothesline on your balcony. Bad protocol. Don't do it.
the
Don't do it.
clampets are up in the room up there.
Yeah,
The,
it is. You will definitely. There's a Facebook page called Entitlement of the Seas, and basically they make fun of everybody that does bad thing or complains about cruising. They just are like, it's like the troll of all troll Facebook pages. If they had a picture of you with your clothes hang up, they would have lit me up. They would have lit you up. So don't do it.
wow.
There's that.
That's crazy. Well, hey, speaking of entitlement and all that, there's a lot of things that people don't know. Like that, I wouldn't have known that. I would have definitely hung my towel at least over the edge of the thing because
Negative.
I've been on all of what,
You
two
can't do that.
cruises.
You can't do that. You're my brother. Like they would. You should know. You should know better.
Yeah, well, last time I got put on a cruise, we had all the kids wanted to come sleep in our room. Like every single kid, we had kids that didn't even belong to us came and slept in our room. And I'm like, I'm thinking, hey, we're going to be on this cruise for like 9 days. And I mean, it's a nice time for husband and wife to get away and the kids can go do something else. Nope. They all slept with us all week long. So,
We need to
uh,
do that again. We need to get another family cruise.
yeah. Well, when this podcast blows up and YouTube is paying us the big bucks, that'd be fun. Hey, one of the things we want to add to Run Hard Brothers podcast is something valuable. I mean, I think all the stuff we do is valuable. But we're going to do a segment called Run Smart, where we talk about things that we've learned. We had to learn it along the way, and so there are things that I've learned. I know that you've learned that are incredibly helpful when we run. Run Smart is quick, practical breakdowns to help train smarter, understand the why behind what you're doing. Something that I've posted about a lot, Rice, are Yasso 800s. And these are some of my favorite things to do when I've been training for marathon, half marathon. If you're around running long enough, you're going to hear somebody, most likely me, because I post about it, say Yasso 800s. But if you're also like me, the first time you hear it, you're probably going to be the one that goes. I used to say Google it, but now you're probably going to go to ChatGPT and say, "Hey, ChatGPT, what's a Yasso 800?" And so here's a quick breakdown. Yasso 800s, they're a workout made popular by Bart Yasso. Is it you say it Yasso or Yasso? How do you say his last name? I don't know. Yasso. I
That's
think
Bart
he's
Yasso. He
with
was he was the chief running officer for Running World. He's a
yeah, he
legend.
is. He is a legend. And the idea is simple. You're talking about the meters. You run half a mile, 800 meters. I do this almost always on a track. I think it's really good to do on a track. You run about a half mile at your target marathon pace. But here's a twist. You're not pacing it on your miles per hour or even your minutes per mile. When I say your pace, it's your goal marathon finish time. So when we ran the Run Hard Brothers Marathon in Lynchburg, I wanted to finish at, well, what do we say? 4 hours and 45 minutes was my goal
Mhm.
time. Um, what you do is then if your goal is to run that 4 hours and 45-minute marathon, your 800s would be done in 4 minutes and 45 seconds. So
Right.
I'm trying to run that 800 in that. If you run 3 hour marathon, you're going to run the 800s in 3 minutes. Whatever that's what it's going to pare down to.
Right.
Um, but then you run that speed for those 800s, and then for that same amount of time after that, you run recovery. So I'll run 800 meters in 4 hours and 40 or 4 hours. That would be crazy. 4 minutes and 45 seconds, and then I'll do recovery for 4 minutes and 45 seconds. And you start out with 4 to 6 of these reps where you're running at the marathon pace, and then you're running recovery, marathon pace recovery. But the goal is to once a week during your marathon prep to run these and run 8 to 10 sets. I usually warm up for about a mile, maybe 2 miles. Then I run these 8 Yasso 800s, 10 Yasso 800. I always tell myself I'm going to do 10. I'm like, can't be that hard. And then by the time I get to 8, I'm like, hey, I got to 8. I'm probably going to quit now and do that. And then you do a cool down. But the idea is to predict your marathon time, and it's
Right.
wacky how really good it is at doing that. And so,
Yeah. And there's people there is both sides of the fence on this thing, on whether or not it's true or not, and
right,
it doesn't matter because if now the one thing about it, and you've done them way more than I have. I honestly have only done them, for a few of the marathons, but it's kind of fun. It's like this.
yeah.
It keeps you interested. I think
It
part of that
it's
is
a
it keeps you
different thing to
interested.
do. It's a different thing to do.
Right.
And whether or not it actually predicts it. Now, mine was pretty close. Like I would run, and I was really tired. I was able to get it done, and then I did the whole workout. But I mean, it's not perfect. It's a tool. It's not perfect. But it does
Right.
build your fitness. I got faster. What I think it really does, and this is where I think it's really helped me. It helps me with pacing. Helps me to learn to pace
Yeah.
myself and figure that
Yeah.
out. Um, and then, I mean, I struggled at the end of both of my marathons, but the one thing that I learned through these, like I said, when I get that 8, I'm always going, I can do 9, and then I can do
Right.
10. Um, and it helps with that mental toughness. You learn rhythm, you control your speed, all those kind of things. Yasso 800s are something that I would say that if you are um, training for a marathon, you should at least give it a shot and check it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. I think
Especially
I
especially if you're not done it and you don't know what your goal is.
right. It doesn't hurt. Like you're not hurting yourself in doing it. It is and again, I think they're fun. They're fun because it's like this challenge. Can I hit it? Can I hit it? Can I hit it? Can I hit it? And you start. There's some challenge in that thing for it. And you're right. It definitely helps you um, kind of make your running consistent, and it teaches your brain how to sense if you're going too fast or going too slow.
So, all of you experts out there, you can critique how we broke down the Yasso 800s, but that is this week's Run Smart. Next time, I don't know, you can figure something out. What do you want to talk about? I love striders, fueling tips. We can talk
Mile.
cadence, mile, whatever. But yeah, Yasso 800s, some of my favorite things to do. Um, I I got to run in a pretty exotic place. That was pretty good.
You did. Not
Uh,
only did I flee the country, so did you.
I did. Now, obviously, with what we were doing, it was up early. We were back late, but I have 3 or 4 guys in our youth group that they're great runners. I mean, they're great
Right.
runners. They're like, hey, Pastor Cody, can we run when we get down there? Josiah, we ran in New York City on a mission trip. We ran from, oh wow, I just thumbs up everybody. Good job. We ran from um, um, uh, Jackson Heights in Queens into Midtown Manhattan and back, which
That's
was
cool.
it was so much fun. It was great. But then we went to Guatemala, and he said, "Can we run in Guatemala?" And I had never done that before, and so I checked with some friends, and we did a route. The second year, we ran again, but he competes for school, and so this time we had several guys, and they're like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna run. I'm gonna just run like 7 minutes, 7:30 a mile this morning." I said, "Cool." So here's the route that I'm going to run. So at any point, if you need me, this is where I'm going to be. Y'all go for it. But it was really cool. We got to run in Antigua, Guatemala, a place I've been going. First time I was there was when I was 14. Uh, Incredibly historical town. I mean, you've run with me in historical places, and it's annoying. I know. I'm running by everything, going, man, I got to stop. I want to take a picture of that. I got to go back over there and see this thing. Um, but to run in a
Isn't this
town that
a picture with you with a volcano behind you or something?
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. There's two active volcanoes just off, not too far from us, and but right at the edge of town is what's called the water volcano. I mean, this town was there in the 1500s, and there was a city on the side of this volcano. I mean, it's been extinct for a long time, and the crater was filled as a lake, but an earthquake split the volcano. The water came rushing down, killed a lot of people in that town. So it's called the water volcano. There's a soccer field up in
just
there
for the
now.
record, just for the record, this is what it's like running with Cody
Yeah.
when you're in a historical place. What you just got there was the History Channel Cody. And if I was running with him that day, he would have said these exact words
Oh, but I got a
as we were
story.
running.
I got a story, and it has nothing to do with history. Ready for this? And
Yeah.
as we edit this, I know we're not going to put things on for, and a lot of people listen to this, but I just really want people to see this. This was the craziest thing. So in Antigua, I mean, people have dogs as pets, but there's a lot of dogs in the streets in Central America that aren't pets. They just are in the towns, and we tell kids, don't pet these dogs. Don't do that. We had a girl that did it last year, and she ended up having lice. And so you just don't do that. Michelle did it a couple years ago, but we had to put gloves on her and all this stuff just to be able to, she could not touch the dog. Um, we get going, and I say goodbye to the boys. They take off running, and I start on my own path, and I'm running down a quarter mile in, not even a quarter mile in. There's a dog right in the sidewalk, and he is laid out, sound asleep. And I just say in Spanish, "Hey dog," like that. And I jump over him, and as I do, he jumps up. I'm like, "Oh shoot, he's gonna bite me!" And he doesn't though. He runs out right beside me, and he starts barking. There's a bunch of pigeons in the middle of the road, and he chases these pigeons. I think it's the funniest thing I ever saw, because he's bent on. I know that he's never gonna catch these pigeons, but he probably does it all day long. As soon as he gets done that, he comes up on the sidewalk in front of me, and he's running ahead of me like I'm chasing him. Well, we get to the end of the block, and he kind of turns his head to me, and I kind of run around him. Well, he keeps going with me. And I'm like, what is this dog doing? We get all the way to the edge of town. I turn around, come back. I run with this dog for 4 miles. 4 miles I run with this dog. We come into the center of town, and there's the Central Park in Antigua is beautiful, and it's layered. There's an outer ring, there's a second ring, a third ring, all the way into the central fountain. Well, I loop, I do a spiral all the way in. This dog spirals the whole thing with me, and then comes back out. I mean, we get to the point where he's chasing motorbikes. He comes back. He finds a thing of water. People will put bowls of water out for the dogs in the community. He stops, looks at me, drinks water. And this point, I'm like 3 miles in. I'm like, this dog has run with me for 3 miles. I'll stop and wait on him. So I stopped and waited on this random dog. And then we kept going. And as we start getting close to getting back, he disappeared. He chased some birds. I'm like, he's gone. Well, next thing I know, I hear him full sprinting to come back up, and runs right beside me. And we come to the end. We're by this big cathedral. There's families there, and I stop at the end of the corner. I click my button on my watch, and I'm waiting on the boys to come back, because they went about a mile and a half, 2 miles more than me. I walk back to the hotel, and I look, and that dog, there's a family feeding the dog. I mean, he is worn out. He just ran 4 miles with me. So I go, and I'm leaning up against the wall at the hotel, and I'm looking down, and I'm already on my Strava doing stuff, and I look down. Bro is sitting right next to me on the sidewalk. Like, what? four
To bring
miles
him
with
home.
this? I did not, but I thought enough about it that all the way, as I would take a picture or do videos, I'd catch him in little corners. So I had this video of this dog running 4 miles with me. This random
That's
stray
hilarious.
dog.
That's
He had to have
hilarious.
woken up going, it's a boring day. I'm gonna run with the gringo. Whatever. So that's my Guatemala recap. We go down to the serve. Not everything is about running and being fit. I think one of the cool things that I saw here is I'm 50. I've been doing these mission trips. I've been leading these mission trips for the last 25 years. and the ability to have the endurance on a trip like this. I've got 18 there. I've got high school juniors and seniors that are active and want to be engaged in what we're doing. Well, it's not all physical stuff, but it's tiring to be away from home, to be serving and doing those things. You know, Christina, I forget which day it was on. She clocked 24,000 steps serving in this small community, carrying food bags, 40-pound food bags to homes, and just doing what the ministry would have us to do. I just the ability to do those things, because I'm taking care of myself and running,
Yeah.
not the fastest, but everybody knows, like it keeping up with everybody is never going to be a problem for me right now, because we're making this a regular thing.
Yeah.
It was
And
crazy.
again, I want to reiterate the fact that we need to have Christina on the show. We say it every
What?
week.
But we do. But this is episode 5. I think we said at the beginning, was it episode 6 or episode 8 that we're gonna? I think episode 6.
Yeah, it's got to be
So
one of them at some point. 'Cause every single episode, we bring something up about Christina, and then we're like, we need to have her on the show.
yeah, it's
Wait,
really.
has it become a show now? I'm saying it like it's a show. Have we become a show? Or are we still just talking?
I think and it's an episode, maybe a show. I don't know. No, show is this is primarily for the listener. For those of you who want to see our beautiful, lovely faces and our bald heads, you can watch it on YouTube, which is getting more views. I love that Spotify is steadily and slowly growing. Apple Podcasts is doing that as well. Um, but you know what? We're about to blow up though,
Tell me about.
because Christina and I, we're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
become
you guys
we're
are
gonna
famous.
going to become America's favorite. That's a crazy thing. Now, admittedly, she saw it. It popped up on her feed, and she sent it to me, and she's like, "We should do this." Primarily because jackpot would finish paying for a down payment. We've been in Lynchburg for about 3 years. We're like, we want to probably build our house, I guess. But she said we ought to do this.
I'm going to vote right now because I forgot I haven't voted today yet, so I'm going to
So
vote right now. I'm going to do it
America's
live on
favorite
air.
couple. I'll tell you one of the interesting things. A bunch of the guys, Jeff Goldblum is like the celebrity host for this. And I think it's Jeff, and I might get this wrong. Yep, currently first place. Let's go. I think his wife is Emily. I might be wrong. I'm not thinking that they're going to be listening to us. So, but uh, the guys in the office were all talking and said, if one of the things that I would get out of this is the ability to sit down and have a meal with Jeff Goldblum, how interesting would that conversation be?
There, just so you know, I support my brother. So there you
The
are.
Mumos say thank you. Yes. The but it's been really cool. Like, how cool would that be to have talk to The Fly and
Yeah,
Independence Day and um, um, Jurassic Park, like
yeah,
all the things that he's done. He just seems like a really interesting character. Um, Not a character, a person. But it's been really cool too, because we get to tell our story of how we um, found each other, and then how you know how important marriage is to me. As we sit here right now tonight, right before the podcast, was able to officiate a wedding, and the way that we do weddings, I say I officiate the weddings, but really we don't do a wedding where we don't also spend three months with the kids getting married, walking through um, premarital counseling and talking through these things, because I think marriage is awesome. So it's fun. But America's favorite couple, we had to write 150 characters, less than a tweet, on why we should be in. And um, I'm going to say they chose us. I'm not saying that they chose everybody that submitted. They maybe
yeah.
did. Um,
You were chosen from the tens and tens that applied. That's my new thing. Tens and tens,
Tens and
but
tens.
it's actually a
I,
lot more.
I will say it is probably a lot more. They put us in
Yeah,
groups. And the idea is that in 5 days, this first round ends at 5 days. You have to be in the top 20 at the end of this round, and then in the next round you have to be in the top 15. That's 7 days later. 7 days later, top 10, and then 7 days later, top five. And the last thing before it moves into I would say the actual competition stage, you gotta win your group. Out of the five left in the group, you have to become number one, which we are number one right now. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
it does it.
Is there 500 groups? I don't know. Now it's a fundraiser. This competition is a fundraiser where you get one free vote every 24 hours, but uh, there's a wildlife fund and like a
Right.
feed the hungry fund or something like that. That
Let me ask you. You see, and I don't know how we are going down this rabbit hole, but can
uh,
you see the votes? Do you know how many are ahead? Like,
no,
am I
I
going to get a call going, "Hey, I need you to drop $500. We are
well,
480."
well, I know that we have some of the most generous friends in the world, and I'm like, what if somebody just dropped like $1,000? And so we love Cody and Christina, and they just dropped like $1,000, and so we're like 1,000 votes ahead. But everybody else is actually doing better than us. But hey, we started out with a boost. I don't know, but all I know is for the last
I'm
4 days, we've been ahead. We've been first.
right. So I'm waiting for that call of, dude, I'm down. We're down 300 votes. I need you to just come off some cash right now.
I'm getting all the bots. There are different people messaging me going, "Hey, I see you're in this contest. If you pay us $29, we'll get you 2,000 followers to vote for you." I'm like, that's literally against the rules. Like that is completely against the rules. They're like, "It's not though," and I'm like, "Thanks. Have a nice day." I don't know. I think it's
I
fun,
do know
and
that there's a bunch on there because I saw somebody else's that said that they were in 22nd place.
I saw it too. I went on their Facebook page, America's Favorite Couples Facebook page, and I clicked who's tagged, and I started because I'm like, I want to see who else is in this, and so I started going down, and I saw somebody in 22nd, 24th place. A lot of them were in 8, 9, 10th place, and then and then there was somebody else that was like in like I don't know. They're all great stories, but when I see them in second place, I'm like, are you challenging me? Do you want a piece of me? Like, and I'm like, wait, it's not a competition, but it is a competition. Whatever. I don't know
This
what that
was
has to
not
do
on
with
our
running,
show.
except that I guarantee you uh, that if we make it to be with Jeff Goldblum and we have, hey Jeff, I'm talking to you if you're listening. Have lunch with Jeff Goldblum. I'm gonna be like, hey, you want to be on a podcast?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You want to mention your podcast? This podcast? I think it'd be fun. It'd be cool.
Help some brothers out. I'm not sure where that fell on our show notes there, dude. I just looked. I couldn't find that. So that
Uh,
was a gratuitous plug. That was a gratuitous plug of your competition.
we were talking about tens
Well
and
done.
tens. We're talking about tens and tens of people listening, and I said it might blow up if
It might
if
be.
if we go worldwide. It'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
so
so
what?
that's the story of our international running
Yes. So
and
what's
our
next?
travels around the world.
Do you have anything planned? You were going to
Um.
do the 5,000 mile run.
So yeah.
50,
So
50
I mean, yeah. So if I don't know if they can see this, but I wrote new plan up there.
new
I
plan.
had scheduled new plan with nothing underneath of it yet, but it's there's hope. Um, I have I decided the Burning River 50 I was going to run, and I decided that I'm not. I've always kind of battled this ankle situation forever, like forever. I can't remember not battling it, and I happened to run into a amazing doctor after the marathon that said, "Let's try something different." And lo and behold, it is working. It is amazing the what he's been doing with it, and I just don't want to put it in jeopardy when I'm in the middle of it. So I'm
Right.
going to not do it. I can still run, and it feels good, but to go 50 miles through the
What's your
hills,
max right now? What's your max before you go? Probably ought to curb that right now.
10 or 15, 10 or 15. So, um, but I just thought it was there's so many races to run. Why am I going to run this one and then limp it? So anyway, so that has been pulled off the schedule. But here's something cool: the end of September for work, I have to travel to Anchorage, Alaska.
No, shut your mouth. This is
Yeah, I'm gonna go to, and so my Strava is gonna have a heat map in Anchorage, Alaska. So I'm looking forward to that. That
I
is
hate. So
now that should be cool.
I forever. So that you said that's the end of September.
Middle of September, right after your birthday.
Because September 27th is the Virginia 10 miler, which
Ooh,
is Lynchburg's famous race. I mean, it's a famous
it's
Central Virginia
famous
race.
race everywhere.
It
Ooh,
83
I
days, and
could
so
come over there.
yeah, I want to do that one. It's all uphill. Like it's basically follows the pattern that we did. Going from downtown up, but it's tough. But everybody runs that thing.
Yeah, the only thing about that is that there may be the grandbaby may come at that point.
Uh,
Grace is due on the 24th. So
wow. Hey fam, look, my sister is now a grandmother 3 times over, which I got to hold
yeah,
that baby the other day. And
that's the babysitter.
now you're going to be a grandpa. Guess who's not?
Yeah,
Not yet. But
that's you.
we're talking about it all the time. Oh my gosh. Talk about it all the time. And Mia's like, I am not married.
I I'm I, I'm super excited about it. Like I can't wait to drive Grace absolutely crazy by being a horrible grandfather and doing all the things she does not want me to do with her son. Uh, and I've already looked to see exactly how to fit a toddler with golf clubs.
So 2 things in this fall, and this to bring it back to we're weaving in and out right now. But we
Yeah,
said
we're all
it's
over.
not just gonna be running, it's gonna be family stuff too. Hey, look, Virginia 10 miler, September 27th,
Yeah.
83 days. And then we've talked about going to Talladega. Um,
Yes.
I think we need to run there, but I'm like, what would it take? Like, what would it literally take to get the racetrack on our heat map?
Ooh. Because remember, I ran around it, but to get
Right.
on the track,
To get on the track. I ran Charlotte Motor Speedway once,
yeah,
but that was
Talladega.
it was an
That's
organized event.
that's 2.6 miles around there, 2.66. Yeah, we need to Google that. I don't know how we would do that on race weekend, but that
Gosh,
that'd be tripping. Okay, yeah, yeah, that would be crazy, right? But
get up at.
nah, it's
I mean, if they told me we had to run it at 2 in the morning in order to get it on
well, we
me,
would do it.
I would do that
Our
in a heartbeat.
campsite's right next to it. Yeah. All right, people are like, "What the heck is Talladega?" The NASCAR race, in case you don't know, the NASCAR track, in case you don't know, it's 2.66 miles of pure speed and joy.
Talladega,
Dega,
baby.
baby.
That's crazy.
So,
All right.
um,
Well, how are we doing on the notes? We good?
I think we're fine. I mean, we destroyed the notes. I don't even know where we're at. Just so you guys know, is that Cody puts together really nice notes
We start out
beforehand to
really
try to
well.
keep, and we usually destroy them. Today, I don't even. If you were to ask me where we are on the notes, I couldn't even tell you. I think we're
Uh,
at the wrap up, only
we are.
because I'm looking at 40 minutes, and that means it's got to be the wrap up.
Yeah. All right. We'd like to
So
thank our sponsors,
yeah,
Andrea,
here
Christina.
I'll see. Yeah, I'll show you. So you see, my microphone is sitting on something here. This is who I hope sponsors me.
Well, everybody knows who I hope sponsors. By the way, you've not mentioned my very patriotic July.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been trying to figure out the whole lacing thing. Like, what is that all about? I mean, it's I don't even. It looks complicated. I don't even. It's got you got 14 ropes hanging around your neck.
It has the American flag on it, and the back is as
I
dope
see
as the
that.
front. That's pretty cool. Looks like scratches. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I brought to you by. Oh, this I got this in St. Croix. Look, I don't know if you can see. I got it in St. Croix.
This one cost me
So,
$12. So,
I don't know. Andrea bought me this one, so it is.
all
So,
right
but
then.
no, I think that after last week or the last one that we did, which by the way, again, if you haven't listened to the podcast that we did, episode 4, it was much different than this one. But I think it's well worth listening to. I want to just say that I really appreciate Cody and I both do. We got a lot of nice messages from people and about that. It took honestly, it took a little bit out of me after we got done. It took a little bit out of me.
Yeah,
That was pretty.
yeah.
That was it was pretty deep for both of us, and
What's funny is the people that have been through something like that have all said something about it like that. That probably took a lot. If you've not, praise the Lord that you haven't.
yeah,
And you might not know that, but yeah, it was tough. I'm not saying that's why we haven't recorded since then, because it would have been tough to record um,
yeah, I did.
internationally.
Yeah, it would have been. So anyway, just I really appreciate that. I do want to just make sure that I say to Carrie out there that Cody and I are thinking about you. You're going through some tough times right now, and you know we're just thinking about you. So that's part of our Lynchburg family for sure.
Yeah, Carrie, we're praying for you, and yeah, we love you. Cool.
So
Anything else?
I think that's it, man. That's all. That's all we got. I'm
All
sure we
right.
got more.
Well, we got more coming this summer. We'll get back into a routine as best as we can, but trying to get these out every other Tuesday, as as much as possible. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
been fun. Thanks for being on the ride with us. Get out and run, and of course, as this guy always says,
run hard, always finish, turn those goals into accomplishments, and smash the like button. That's what we need this week. We need to let's subscribe. All right. Thank you all.